encounter area at the Creation Museum. A couple of the zoo staff here, including our senior manager, Leanne, and we have a fun time planned for you, because one of the things that we did recently, and I'm going to be following along here on my Facebook if I can get this open. One of the things that we did recently was actually ask you to come up with some animal enrichment ideas for the animals, and that we would choose some and use them today. And so Leanne, our senior zoo manager, has gone through all of the ideas that you put there in some of our Facebook Live programs, and she has chosen 5 of them. So 5 kids, we're not going to tell their names just yet. We'll tell the names just before we start each one. In fact, you can have a look at this one, and some of you might be able to recognize who put this idea here. And so I'm going to let Leanne in a moment tell us who the first person was that we chose their animal enrichment idea, and we're going to see if it works or not. So Leanne, why don't you take it from here? Yes, a lot of people are online watching now. So why don't you take it from here and tell us what you chose?
Okay, so the first idea that we chose came from Ellie, and Ellie suggested...
Ellie?
Yes, Ellie.
Ellie. How old was Ellie? Do you remember?
I believe she was 6 years old.
6 years old. Ellie, who was 6, okay.
Yeah, so we're featuring one of your idea. So she actually suggested using like brush handle or brush heads for the animals to scratch on. So we didn't have any brush heads, so I took some of our old brushes that were kind of just sitting around collecting dust, and we made this really cool scratching post for our goats. So it is spring, so it is shedding season for some of our goats. So, and our goats really do enjoy scratching and rubbing on things.
You know, maybe I could take that home and put it on a table and use it as a scratching place for my back. What do you think?
Yeah, it might not. Yeah, there's a couple different types of brush on here, so it'd probably be really good to scratch your back with. So this is actually a form of environmental enrichment. So it's just something that we add to the animal's environment for them to kind of rub and scratch on, kind of mimicking what they would do if they were out in a pasture or even out in the wild, scratching off their winter coat on branches and twigs and things.
Okay, so Ali, who's 6, Ali, if you're watching, you could let us know. But Leanne chose your idea here as the first animal enrichment idea. So are we going to try it?
Yes, we're going to try it.
Okay.
So
we're going to see if the goats scratch their backs. No? What are they using?
They're probably going to scratch their heads.
Scratch their heads, okay.
So Leanne's going to put it in here, and then she's going to probably go ahead and brace it with a rock. We're going to try. So the goats don't end up knocking it over and scaring themselves. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so here we have Eustace. Eustace is going to check it out. And I added a little bit of a bonus to this. So there is also some scent on here. So I actually squeezed some lime juice on the brushes as well. So gave them a little bit of a sensory enrichment. So kind of some olfactory.
Okay, so one goat is actually smelling the tree and not even looking at the brushes.
Yes.
Wow.
You know, it's funny.
That worked.
earlier I put it in
wait
really.
A minute.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Diggory. Oh, we got Eddie. If anybody's gonna scratch, it'll be Eddie.
Ah, he is. It was scratching his head. Look there, it's working.
It's working.
And we didn't even tell him to do that.
No, we didn't. Eddie likes to scratch his horns. So we put any type of brush type enrichment in here with Eddie. He will go over and scratch his horns on it. So Ellie,
we even have someone from Australia watching.
Oh,
we have a couple
great.
of people from Australia watching.
So
They've got nothing else to do over there.
Yeah.
They're all locked in their houses, and the police standing guard out front in case they leave.
So Ellie, your enrichment idea was great. Great for our goats. So we have Diggory and Edmund here who are both scratching on it. So Diggory here is 2 years old, and Edmund is 4 years old.
Well, he really likes that.
Yes, he loves it.
Someone asked, is this their first time doing this?
So we've given brushes to the goats before. This is the first time I've actually put them on a log like this, where they actually can kind of manipulate a couple different texture brushes. Sometimes we'll use just soft brushes. And so this is kind of their first time getting it where they've got several different textures of brush to kind of choose from.
Boy, he's really getting into it.
He is. He loves this. Oh, Caspian came over. So Caspian there in the back, he is 3 years old. Oh, Eddie, get it.
Someone said here that I'm busy today. I'm busy every day, but today, because I already spoke at the 12 o'clock session.
Yes.
Did Answers News, 2 o'clock, and now doing this,
yes.
and had some meetings I had to be involved in this morning and this afternoon, and anyway.
Yes.
Busy time. So
here at the zoo, when we give animals enrichment, we actually rate it on a scale of 1 to 5. So I would say that this is a 1. So we want them to kind of rub their heads on this, and kind of hopefully they'll start rubbing their shoulders and their backs on this too to get off some of that dead hair. So I would rate this enrichment as a 1. So good job, Ellie.
As a 1, great. So Ellie, who was 6, suggested that idea. Liza, is it L-Y-Z-A? Liza? Hope I pronounced your name right, from Texas, wants to know how many goats we have, because we have goats here and at the Ark, right?
Yes. So total, let me do the math in my head really quick.
And then Isabella, who's 12, wants to know. Only one of the goats has a horn.
So Eddie here is the only one that has horns. So typically, because we have all these goats can go over in our petting area with kids, we make sure our goats do not have horns. Eddie here is just our special goat that actually does have.
Well, they knocked
have
that
some
over,
horns.
so we'll let one of the zoo staff come and put that back up for them.
This is also
and,
enriching. They knocked it over, so now
Oh,
they can
that's
rub on.
that's part of
they,
their
they
enrichment.
can rub on it. Maybe check out some different brushes. So we'll leave it there for them, and
Okay.
they can check it out and enjoy it a little bit more.
LC5 asks if goats go fast.
They can.
Yeah. Can. Okay, so number 2 enrichment. Who was that from?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to get my little
Okay,
cheat sheet
let's
out.
see who chose this one.
Okay, actually, this one, several people chose this one, so I don't have one name just written down for this one. But we had a couple people ask to do something with the chickens. Somebody suggested we have the chickens play the piano.
Play a piano. We don't have a piano here at the animal area.
We don't have an actual piano out here, so we just have a little play mat for babies that makes noise.
That's sort of like a piano.
Sort of like a piano. So the
Yep.
idea is when the chickens step on it, they will make noise and kind of play and go along. We're still working. We've actually been working with our chickens for a little bit to get them to walk across a keyboard. So they are going to eat some mealworms off the piano. We'll see if it...
So they're eating mealworms, but how do you get them on there?
They will basically eat their way around without having to step on it as much as possible.
So they don't want to play the piano.
No, they... Oh, there we go. Somebody hit it.
Oh,
There
one
we
of them
go.
did. Yeah, you just heard a chicken play a piano.
Yeah.
Then we played it again for them.
Yes, we played it again for you guys. So Mac here, we have Mac, we have
I
Colonel,
think when he
Lemon,
pecked, he
and
must
Rocky.
have hit it hard.
I think, yeah, when he pecked, he hit it hard.
So maybe they
Rocky.
could peck and play the piano.
That's the idea. We're still working on it. Right, boys? So these are some of our Malaysian Sarama chickens.
And you successfully got them to eat mealworms.
Yes. They are usually very successful at eating mealworms.
And they played the piano once. Okay.
Yes.
So it sort of worked.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
So
Okay.
sometimes with enrichment, we have to offer it several times, and sometimes we have to kind of make adjustments because sometimes the animals either are a little bit afraid of it or wary of it, or sometimes we just have to make adjustments because we realize it didn't work quite the way we wanted it to. So this is one that's still a work in progress.
Well, you know, Easy's Wayne from Living Waters from California is watching. You know, he's Ray Comfort's son-in-law, and he says, "Can you teach them to play the tuba, Ken?" And I would say this:
Oh.
they need
Somebody
hot
hit it
air like Easy has.
Yes.
If they had enough hot air like he has, with all that he says, they would be able to play the tuba.
Yeah, I don't think our little 1-pound chickens have enough hot air.
But I
to
heard
play
them
the
play.
tuba.
I heard them
Yeah.
play again. So it's
Yep, they're getting on
close
there.
to getting on there. So
So it's a work in progress. Well, we'll do this again,
okay,
and we'll continue with them.
and we'll see if we can train them to play
Yes.
Silent Night or something. Or
That's probably asking a little too much from our
Okay,
chickens.
all right.
They're a little bit of bird brains.
so what was the third one?
So our third one, let's see, Dawn asked us if Zoe, our Zorse, could kick us.
Did you say Dawn
Dawn?
or Dawn?
Dawn.
DAWN?
Yes.
That's Dawn.
Sorry, my
See,
Pennsylvania
it
accent's
sounds like
coming
Dawn
out.
to me. Okay, all right. So
So-
Dawn.
Yes. She asked us if Zoe the Zorse could kick a soccer ball into a goal. Well, no, not in the sense that Zoe will actually kick a soccer ball into a goal for us, but I used this idea to kind of create a soccer scene since all sports are currently canceled. So in here we have a goal for the Zorse and Zonkey. We have a soccer ball in here, and then we also have one of their favorite tugs because I only had one soccer ball. So this is what we call novel enrichment. So novel just means new or something different. So this is something different in their environment that they're not used to seeing.
So somebody asked, have the chickens played the piano before? Was that different for them?
They've played it once or twice before. So you
Okay.
can offer new things. You can offer things a couple times. You just can't offer it. You don't want to offer it the same time every day or a certain day a week because then it just becomes part of the animal's routine. So we're going to have Leanne go ahead and let Zoe out first. and
Okay,
then
while
we'll let
Zoe's
Zeke
coming,
lead us out.
let me see. Joshua, age 12, said, what's the most unique animal at the Ark? What do you think's the most unique animal?
Oh, that's a hard one because we have a lot of very unique animals at the Ark.
The sloth?
I would have to say the sloth is probably on the list. We also have a rhinoceros iguana.
Oh, that's right, a rhinoceros iguana.
They are probably
Okay, you come
okay.
with this.
She's sniffing. Just
This
checking
one
it out.
is-
This is Zoe.
This is Zoe.
So Zoe's a Zor. So her mother was a quarter horse and her dad was a Grant zebra. So
And
I
so
gave her some treats
she
in here
actually
as well.
came out and sniffed that. Let's see what happens with the... here's the soccer ball. Kick it into the goal.
Zoe says, I don't know about this. I'm going to eat the treats first.
I think the Zorse is more interested in eating right now.
Yes. She is 100% interested in eating.
Did check out that other...
Yes. Now, she hasn't
whatever it is
seen...
there.
We use the tug with them occasionally. She hasn't seen the soccer ball before. And this tarp here is actually great for them because it helps us desensitize them. And desensitize is a really big word, but it just means that we get them used to different things in their environment. So if there were ever to be a tarp or something blowing in the wind, they're kind of used to seeing it because it makes a lot of noise and kind of flaps around. So sometimes we'll use things like this that seem a little bit scary to get animals used to new things that they might be exposed to at some point in the future.
Okay, so the goat enrichment you gave as a 1 out of,
Yes.
what, 10?
1 out of 5.
1 out of 5.
One
The chicken,
We'll give the chickens.
4.
I'll give them a 3 because
3,
they interacted with it, but they didn't really do
And
everything
a couple
we
of times
wanted
it did play
It did play a little
by
bit.
accident.
Yes.
Okay, and you'd give this one?
I would give this one. So she's going up to the tarp, which is kind of a big deal for her because she thinks it's kind of scary. So I would say this is probably, it's probably a 2 or a 3.
A 2 or 3
I was hoping she was going to
because
move.
she doesn't like the top?
Yeah, I was hoping she was going to interact with that soccer ball a little bit more and maybe roll it around a little bit more. So we'll go ahead and let Cletus
Oh,
out
she's
now.
gone real close to the top.
Yeah, she is. So as I said, this is really good for her. This is
I
something
know
that
she's sort of leaning in a bit.
yeah, she's definitely ready to run. You can kind of see how her body language. She's kind of on a little bit of high alert, kind of not quite sure what's going on. So here we have Cletus, our zonkey. So we gave Zoe a little bit of a head
Oh, look, he
start.
checked out both of them.
Oh, look, he's there we go. Good job, Cletus.
Ah,
Well, there you go. Cletus rolled the
and
soccer
there
ball
it is.
away from the
Goal.
goal.
Kick to goal. Look at that.
I guess he was defense. I guess he was playing defense and kicking it away from the goal.
Okay.
Rolling it. He is actually very interested in the soccer ball. This is great.
Joshua asked, what is my favourite animal? Wow. I mean, I'm Australian. I have to say the kangaroo, right?
Or the wallaby.
Or Boomer the wallaby here. Exactly. Okay, so that's 3.
Yes,
Okay, what was the
that's
next one
3.
you chose?
So our next one is, let me pull out my little guide so I
Your
remember
little cheat
everybody's
sheet
name.
here, yeah.
Yes. So Noah,
Yeah.
I believe Noah was 12. He asked us to do one that was wind chimes with food in it.
Wind chimes
So
with food. Okay.
we'll see if we can get a picture of this wind chimes with food. So we've got some bamboo. We use these bamboo wind chimes with all of our animals. They're fun for them to make noise with. And I tied on some lettuce and broccoli, and we have a little bit of lemon in there as well. So this is all tied on with food. This is rope that will easily just break away so that animals can pull the food off without eating the rope. So Geneva is going to attempt to put this in with Gomer and Ferdinand and George, our Zebu steers. So we'll see if Gomer gets up for some broccoli. For some broccoli and lettuce. He says yes, please.
Oh, that got him up from his lazy sleeping position.
Yes. He actually just lay down. He actually just did his stretches.
Yeah, somebody said we don't have one at the zoo, but I did talk on the platypus and say it was my favourite animal. That's true, the platypus, but we can't have a platypus
Yes.
here.
The only zoo in the United States that has platypus right now, I believe, is San Diego.
Yeah, they're very difficult to look
They're,
after. Even in
they're
Australia.
Very, they're very
Even in
difficult
Australia,
to
there's
keep.
not that many places you can see a live platypus.
Yes.
So they are. They like the wind chimes with...
Oh, Gomer's going for the broccoli.
I think he's going to eat the whole thing.
He may eat the whole thing. So no, that was a great idea. There he goes. He pulled off his broccoli.
He did. He wanted that broccoli.
So he's making all the noises with the wind
See?
chimes.
Be a camel and eat your broccoli.
Yes. Be like a camel and eat your vegetables.
Do you say broccoli or broccoli?
Broccoli.
I think we say broccoli in Australia.
No.
Well, we used to anyway. Ethan 5 wants to know if you could have Boomer try to play the drums. His name's Boomer, right?
Yes. We might have to work on that one.
Yeah, we'll have to try that one another time.
We may have to do that another time somehow. I'll have to try to figure that one out. We may have something he can hop on.
Okay, so what would you give that one? 1 out of 5?
I would probably give this a 1. So they went over and interacted with it right away. They're interacting with it, pulling the food off of it, making noise with it. So I would give this probably a 1 out of 5. So this is a combination. So this is some food enrichment, and it's also sensory. So they're making some noise. So it's got some auditory, and then even just some tactile from touching the wind chimes. And you can see Ferdinand there kind of rubbing his head on the wind chimes as well. So sometimes we'll even put different scents on the wind chimes for him to rub on and to sniff and to check out as well.
Oh, he likes that lettuce. Look.
Oh, yeah, there he goes. See if he can rip it off. There he goes.
Ah, well, there we are. Okay, so you have one more for us?
We have one more for you guys.
Okay.
And this one is, I think it's pretty special because it's my favorite. It's my favorite animal.
Okay. All right, we're going to find out who wanted the enrichment for this animal.
So this was Shiloh.
Shiloh, okay.
And she specifically requested this animal. She requested this animal by name.
Okay.
So we are going to go and give this animal
let's see
some
what
enrichment.
it is. Let's see what Shiloh wanted.
So Shiloh wanted us to do a puzzle feeder. So a puzzle feeder is just something that basically makes an animal work a little bit for its food. So this is a puzzle feeder we're going to use. And this is actually one that you can use for your dogs at home. So we've got some peanuts in here. We have some peanut butter. We've got some other little treats in here. So the idea is that the animal is going to have to basically work, open these up.
I didn't have lunch, so if I can get that up, can I?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If you can figure out how this works, absolutely. Okay, so Shiloh specifically asked that Boomer the wallaby get a puzzle feeder that has
so we're going to go to
butter.
Boomer the wallaby.
Yeah, we're going to go in here. We'll go in with him.
Christy said, "Thank you for showing us how you enrich the animals." Oh, look, Boomer, he must be hungry. You must recognize an Australian. Look at that. Okay.
Okay, come here. Come here, Boomer. Boomer, come here. Now this is Boomer's first time getting this type of puzzle feeder, so we'll see. See if he can figure out how to pick up the lids. He's looking at me like, but where's my peanuts?
You can smell them in there.
He can smell it. As I said, peanuts and peanut butter are his favorite things in the world. So we'll see if he can figure out how to lift up a lid. Let's see. Come here. Here, look. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna put it back down. Figure out how to get it up. We may have to help him a little bit. This is as I said, this is his first time with this particular puzzle feeder. Skippy there he goes.
He figured it out. That is incredible.
I used this puzzle feeder. I actually got this puzzle feeder for our first wallaby, Skippy, and this was one of his favorite enrichment items. He would sit here and just spin it around until it was all gone. All the Cheez-Its, the cheese crackers, and peanut butter or peanuts were gone.
Now he forgot how to do it.
Now I forgot how to do it. But this is really good. So this is why we give enrichment items to our animals. It gives them opportunities to not only maybe have physical activity, so like with our goats, rubbing their heads on some brushes, but also kind of mentally figuring out things like this, like how to get food out of a feeder like this. So we're not just always putting, their food down in a bowl in front of them, but we're making them work for their food a little bit.
Okay, how about a lot of hearts and hands clapping for Boomer, who was able to open up one of those and get the food.
Yeah, I'm gonna open one for him so he can kind of get a reward, so he knows how this works. And I will even leave the peanuts in their shells too. So he's gotta crack the shells open to get the peanut butter, to get the peanuts out.
And that's what he's doing right now,
Yep.
actually.
He's eating his little peanuts. He said there.
Okay, I'm seeing some hearts and thumbs up and for Boomer. Let's see some more here and some smiles for Boomer. I think
Yes.
he did a great job
He did great.
learning how to get that open and now learning how to get peanuts out of their shells.
Yes. Yes. So peanuts are one of his favorite things. So we'll use peanuts and peanut butter with him for training. So he is harness trained. He is also trained to do paw prints. So you guys, if you watched the 10 o'clock science experiments, you might have seen him a week or so ago. We were working on doing paw prints with him. And I was using a lot of peanut butter that day.
Well, there we are.
Yeah.
So that was a good idea for enrichment for Boomer the Wallaby.
Yes, that was a great idea for Boomer. And I tried, as I was looking through the enrichment ideas, especially when I saw specific animals named, I tried to make sure we did those. So we had a lot of great ideas, so I could just pick 5. I just picked 5 out, but thank you for everyone that submitted their ideas for enrichment.
So Gabriel and Philip, 7 and 8, ranked this enrichment as 1. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely.
And somebody here said we feed our horses out of slow feed hay bags to keep them occupied longer.
Yep, that's what we do here. So pretty much all of our hoof stock, they have slow feed hay bags. So if you come and visit us at either the Ark or the Creation Museum, you'll see a lot of our animals eating out of the slow feed hay bags.
Boomer's making me hungry.
He might share a peanut with you, maybe. He may also get angry if you try to steal his peanuts.
Oh, I better not try to steal his peanuts. I didn't have time for lunch today. I don't know, when you get older, like I am, you only have to smell food and you put weight on. I don't think you need to eat it when you get over a certain age. That's what I find anyway. So somebody said, thanks for this, what a joy to watch one of God's little creatures.
Yes.
So question from Silas, 13, how much does the average zoologist make? Right now, because everyone's shut down, just about nothing.
Yes.
But if you want to go online and donate to us, we'll help them get
Yes.
something. So our staff are all sacrificing right now.
Yes.
It's a pretty tough time for everybody.
Yes, it is.
So somebody said, can't wait to visit again. We were there 2 years ago. Yeah, we just pray that we can open up soon. Right now, there are governors in some of the states opening up some of the states, but Kentucky, I don't know, doesn't look like anytime soon from what I've seen, which is pretty sad. Makes it tough for us all. Tough for a lot of people in the whole of northern Kentucky, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Because a lot of people are suffering.
Good job, Boomer.
Oh, look, he opened up the other one. Look at that. He's got the hang of this.
Yeah, he's figured this one out.
Yep.
I might have to make this a little bit challenging, more challenging for him. Might have to put some hay or something in there on top to hide the goodies that are in there.
JT, who's 10 from Texas, was wondering what the kangaroos do when they get angry. Actually, they can box.
They can
actually stand up on their feet and box.
Yes. Typically, if our kangaroos or wallabies get annoyed, their first reaction is just going to be to hop or move away from you. But if they're aggravated, they will kind of box you with their back legs. They will also hiss at you. So kangaroos and wallabies don't really vocalize a whole lot, but they can make a hissing noise when they're upset as well.
So Ethan, who's age 11, says, can you do a puzzle feeder with Gomer the camel? I mean, if you tried to do a puzzle feeder, do you think he's bright enough to get that open?
So the puzzle feeders that we've used with Gomer, it's basically a 5-gallon bucket with some holes drilled in the side. And then what we'll do is we'll put hay in there, we'll put some veggies and goodies in there, and he has to kind of roll it around, or sometimes we'll even hang it, so he has to kind of knock it to get the food out. So Gomer can figure out a puzzle feeder. Maybe not like this. He would probably just try to eat this. We'd have to do a big camel-sized version. That'd be a very big puzzle feeder.
So somebody here said, my kids sing a song about kangaroos and wallabies. And somebody else asked, what are some of the differences between wallabies and kangaroos? Maybe you could answer that before we finish here.
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest difference between kangaroos and wallabies is their size. So kangaroos and wallabies are in the same family or created kind. They're in the kangaroo or macropod kind. So they are related. They are descended from the two...
You don't have a treat I can give him?
Kangaroos. They're the kangaroo kind that were on the Ark. So the biggest difference is size.
Okay. Here you are, Boomer.
Boomer says, but
Here.
my human is there.
Hey. Here you are. Come here.
So the biggest difference is size.
Well,
so
okay, I'm going to feed him a peanut. You want
Boomer
that?
here, he weighs about 30 pounds compared to our red kangaroos at Ark that weigh between 60 and 70 pounds. So size is the biggest difference. Also, just the habitat in which they inhabit in Australia. Kangaroos typically are found more out in the open on the grasslands, where wallabies tend to be found in more brushy areas. So that's another difference between them.
So Julie 12 wants to work as an animal trainer at the Ark and Creation Museum, and I think that's great.
That's great.
And so, Julie, you make sure you get your schoolwork
Yep.
done and study, and
In a
then
couple of
maybe you
years.
can come here
Yep.
and work with Leanne one
Yep.
day. You never know. So there we are. Well, Leanne, that was fun.
Yeah.
We had some of the kids who actually sent in ideas, and you used those, and they were all pretty successful, really.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
So everybody sent in, had great ideas. Thank you so much for sharing them.
And we taught Boomer how to open a puzzle.
And we taught Boomer how to open a
There we
puzzle.
are. So let me ask our videographer, we know what we're doing tomorrow? I forget what we're doing tomorrow. We're doing something. So,
We're doing goats tomorrow.
oh, we're doing goats at the Ark. That's right, goats at the Ark tomorrow. I got to
Yeah.
travel down to the Ark tomorrow.
Yes.
We're doing goats at the Ark tomorrow. Okay. This is all a part of our communicating with all of you, teaching kids, our supporters online, and others who are watching. While we can't have you coming here, unfortunately, we can go out to you. So that's what we're doing. So with that, we'll say goodbye from the